Hey, I don't know who needs to hear this, but we've just finished a session where we had 10 SportsTech startups pitching to about 16 investors, VCs, angel investors, family offices. And what was very clear is the gap between how some of the companies are very, very strong, but how they come across to investors doesn't do any justice with them, which reduces their ability and the chances they will get an investment. Now, the main reason I believe for that is it's a lack of understanding how investors think and what drives them. And what I'll do now, I will go through what I know as the checklist, and some of those things I don't think you can find in any books that are getting into the inside of the mind of investor, which will allow you, whether you're raising money now or in the future, to get better chances to get a yes. My name is Amir. I'm the CEO, founder of Hype Sports Innovation. I'm an entrepreneur. I sold my business in London many years ago. And I, over the year, raised about $300 million, invested in startups. Now, of course, serving the sports industry and specifically SportsTech startups. So I want to go over this quickly and share with you the list. I divided the topics to 3. And by the way, all of the topics, if you think about it, are addressing the element of the risk and the perception of the risk of the investor and how we can reduce the risk. Because investors, they see, I have an investor, a friend that his goal is to see 300 solutions or startups a year and to invest maybe in 2. Now, the way I've divided this, I would say, checklist to 3. The first one is product validation. Second one is team, if the team can execute. And the third one is about trust, that there is a big money potential ROI here, and also element of ego for the investors, and I will explain. All right, so let's run this quickly. I want to take the next few minutes, run this. Some of this is familiar to you. Feel free to push it forward. I'll go through the topics. First of all, product validation. The ideal scenario for an investors is that the company has validated, has proven that the product or the solution or the service works. And all they need now is money, funding, to accelerate. So the more we are close to showing that, yeah, we've done this pilot now, it's proven to be successful, or we get 1 customer, he paid for that, or 2 customers, they paid for it, and we know that that's a nice margin for us. We've proven that the product works and it says what we said it will do. Now it's about scaling. This is the ideal. I know most of the startups are not there. Some of them are there 80%, 90%, maybe 30%. But if you think about how they see it, is ideally you say, we've done this pilot, or we've done this project, or we are doing this now for a year, 2 years, and we know it's working. It's now just about scaling. Now, so that relates to traction and the ability to show, because the risk of the product not working is probably one of the biggest risks they have. So the moment you eliminate this risk, you're already on a highway, yeah? Now, the other points relates to the product validation, which are the ability to scale, the fact that there is some kind of unique value proposition that we have comparing to the competition. It could be a new, AI capabilities. It could be specific connection we have with a strategic partner, whatever it is. But this gives them the confidence that this product, this solution is going to fly. All right, so that's on that. Now, next point is that the team can execute. Sometimes, people say, yeah, it's all about the team. What investor wants to see is not just a great product, because great product doesn't have a team that can execute. I mean, specifically sales and, of course, product. He wants to see that the people in front of him have a proven, relevant experience of creating success. Now, some of you have it, some of you may not have it, and you need to, I would say, lease it or get it from either you add more people to the team which has this experience, or you put advisory board of top people. For example, we have somebody who sold the company for $200 million that joined our board, and he's working very closely with me. Or you need to create this perception that your team is good in execution. Look at what we've done last year. We talked to 100 companies. We talked to this. We are that. The ability to show, because sometimes I meet companies that, they have a great product, but what are you doing with it? Show me traction. Show me ability of execution. So that's the first point that I would like, we need to present. I mentioned advisory board. Create an advisory board. It's not, I would say, it's fairly easy to approach, people in the wrong side of the 50s, as I call it, call them in, give them some kind of incentive at relevant people. This gives some comfort and some confidence and reduce risk, as we discussed. Personal skin in the game. It's always good to say that you're personally invested. Yeah, I wouldn't shout it and say it 5 times, but if investor knows that you're personally vested in this venture, it gives him the confidence that your commitment is 100% there. It's not that, you're going to try and, do like a nice journey with his money. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't work. Yeah, it's a different level of commitment. Passion and energy that can't be faked. Again, passion and energy is something that it's an energy that you transfer to those people. And you can see it, and that's something you can practice. Speak from your heart, speak from your experience, and enroll those people to connect to you with your passion. It's something that can be practiced and taught. Yeah. Again, I wrote here a few other topics. I'll send you, by the way, a list later on so you can have it as well. I wrote here a few things, additional things, like if you have a long-standing relationship with investors or with people in your life, I mean, I don't know, senior people that are following you. I don't know if you can say, I don't know, this investor in the US is following me now for 7 years, and he loves me, and he's on, he just joined our board, and he believes in what we do. Anything that can show. I used to say, I had an investor that invested in me 20 years ago, and then he continued to invest in me in 3 ventures. Of course, I told it in the first 5 minutes, because that shows somebody's following you, somebody trusts you, and that's a good sign for the investors, reducing risk, yeah? So that's about execution and the team. The third topic is about ROI and showing that we are looking at a huge business opportunity. I see some of the startups raising smaller amounts of money, and also when they talk about the opportunity, it's not big enough. Most of the investors are, you know how it is with startups. You invest in 10, and you know that 8 of them will go bust. But the 1 or 2 that will do good will pay for all the rest. So ideally, all the ones that you're investing in have the potential to be the one. So if you're showing a too smaller market, or the exit strategy is not big enough, it may deter most of certainly the VCs and the family offices. Yeah, maybe angel investors would be more, I would say, interested in a smaller game. Yeah, but try to see what is the overall game plan, and some people say, no, you don't need to show the exit strategy. I believe you do want to show the exit strategy and apply this gently. It's not what we do for, it's not what we wake up for. But just so you know, Mr. Investor, that another company in our industry just sold, 200x, last year, or were bought by Adidas. Or, of course, this is elements that are very interesting and reducing risk. Anything you can say about your industry that gives a comfort that those type of solutions or similar solutions in other industry have been amazing. So you find a good benchmark, it's great. Burn rate, you want to show that burn rate is low and you're taking care of their money. Yeah, it's not just from saying that. They need to know that there is this element of, we are only taking what we need. We are all here together to make it big. And when we could, and the company will be big, we'll get better salaries. Alignment with investors' goals. You want to understand the investor. Now, every investor, some people say, what do you mean? He can make tons of money here. Every person, is motivated by something slightly different. I took it as a sport, almost as an art, when I talk to people to try to understand what is their motivation. Are they looking for something to be proud of? Some of them are looking, when they sit around, Friday dinners, they want to say, I've invested in this company. It's going to transform the world of sports, or it's going to do that. That element is, I want to look at that. Yeah. And if there is an element there, if they're looking to be part of the advisory, if they're looking to be, I would say, to be us and to be mentoring, yeah, us. What is their incentive? What is, are they looking for, some kind of PR? Is there anything else that motivates them? I try to understand, because usually people, there is, I would say, I call it hidden commitments. Yeah. There is the commitment which people say, and there is hidden commitments. So they're committed, of course, to make the best investments, which will give them, nice, crazy ROI. But there are usually others. Maybe they're committed to be part of sports because they can come back to their kids and tell them, look, we are part of this company that is, we can go to see them in the Mile High Stadium next week, or to, I don't know, Wembley. What is their motivation? When you know that, it's not in the first meeting, but you want to understand. Sometimes you can analyze those investors before that. And again, like anything else, you have now all the tools like Perplexity and all those AI tools that allow you to get research on your investors, on personal people. Try to see on their Facebook what their hobbies are. Anything that can help you. I'm not talking about the first 10-minute pitch, but definitely in the second meeting, in the third meeting. You want to start building this relationship, because with all this, they also need to like you. They also need to feel that, we will get along together. It's not a pain in the ass guy, which will be, I will hate working with him. And the last thing is, we need to create a FOMO, fear of missing out. Now, it's not easy, and you cannot fake a FOMO. If you fake a FOMO, they will know it. You need to create a real alternative. I always say, if you have one investor, you're fucked. Because he, in the last minute after the term sheet, probably there are chances that he will say, sorry, but our committee said that we need to increase this, we need to get that, we need more this, we need another this, because he's the only option you have. And it's very difficult to say no, because you're dying, you need the money. So when you have one, don't stop, go for another one. And then you have two options. You can always say, yeah, that's fine, but we have a couple of investors that are interested, or we have another. We just need to know what's your final offer, because there is another investor which we put aside because we're talking to you, but we want to know, and it has to be real. So some founders, when they get one term sheet, they stop, or they get one offer, they stop. You want to continue to work and get 2, 3. And it's easier when you have one, because if you say to investors, the investors, like any human being, they're a bit of a herd. Yeah. So when they hear that somebody else gave you a term sheet, oh, what did I miss? They want to be part of it. Yeah. So you want to continue to work until the last minute, and at least have another option always available till the last minute until they sign it. All right. Again, that's in a nutshell. If there are specific questions or anything you want to know, let me know, and happy to answer and maybe do another session like this. See you soon, I hope.